Hello and welcome to the 21 Days Face Your Fears online challenge. I'm Bristena, transformation facilitator, energy therapist, and writer. My mission is helping people heal their past so as to be able to live the life of their bliss. I'm super excited to be your host on your personal journey to fearlessness and empowerment through the power of community. Today I have a very special guest. His name is Shen Ji. Hello, Shen.
Greetings. Thank you for
Um,
having.
Thank you for joining us. From a young age, Shen has been a seeker of truth and had a desire to transcend the mundane aspects of our Western societal constructs. These urges led him to walk a path quite different than most. Shen is joyfully inspired to create music, videos, writing, and presence to share a perspective that we, the human collective, truly need at this time in order to face the man made issues on our earth and ensure a future of health, happiness, and harmony. Shen doesn't think the world needs saving, but our human collective needs a refinement in unity consciousness so that we may live in accordance with our divine nature. This is how his organization, Solar Nation, came into being to assist in the building of our collective paradigm of unity and joy. Thank you very much for joining us again, Shen. How
Thank
are
you.
you today?
Beautiful, infinite, divine, whole.
Awesome. So, you mentioned in your short description this need of a refinement in our unity consciousness so that we may be able to live in accordance with our divine nature. So, what do you
Absolutely.
think is our divine nature, and how does being able to overcome our fears and practice fearlessness help us get in tune with the real us, the real.
I'd say our divine nature, who and what we are, is simply pure consciousness, essence, awareness, life. These are words that we can use to define and describe it. It's actually a state beyond any description. So we can only really speak around it, but these words, they are the best, the most accurate signposts. So right now, the majority of us, we find ourselves living, and I say the majority, speaking of the human collective, we find ourselves living from a perspective and a position of being our individual body, mind, identity, and life, and our likes, our dislikes, our troubles, our happinesses, our joys, whatever, our highs, our lows, and just really living in this small little sphere of existence when all we need simply do is step beyond that, step back from that for a second, realize that it's been witnessed and observed from a much broader and much more expansive, infinite position which is within us, and then to be able to move from this expanded position, we find our lives a lot lighter, a lot more free, a lot more fun, and we truly realize the connection and the oneness with all of existence and creation and God. So, yeah, that's what I would say our true position is, our divine position in existence. How does that relate to fear? Well, again, when we feel as if we're just an isolated individual in existence and, we have to struggle to survive, how are we going to get money? How are we going to pay rent? What are we going to do? These things instantly become kind of like blocks in the path towards just feeling as though we can relax in our being without having to run around and keep doing. And when we understand who and what we are beyond the shapes and forms of material existence, we can truly relax, understanding that not one piece of existence moves without the entirety of existence moving behind it. Kind of just like in our bodies, our human bodies, we can look at the existential body or the universe as a body, like our human body, and not one cell in our body moves without the complete will and cooperation of the entire body. And it's the same with us in our human lives. So when we just step back from being an individual and understand that we're one with the whole, with the totality, we really can let go of fear and be supported by the infinite.
Wonderful. And how do you think, in your experience, can we bring this higher understanding of our true nature, interconnected nature in our daily lives, in our interaction with people, in our own daily activities?
It's so simple, really, and this is a simple practice that anyone can do at any time, right? Just now you're standing, you're sitting, just move your arm, move your head, look around, take a breath, ask yourself, what did that? Was it the body that moved itself?
Mm,
You know, you could say it was my mind that moved my body, but then what is the power and source of the mind? You know, let's call it for the sake of now the spirit. Now, that same spirit that moves this body that we call Shen is the same spirit that's moving the body that we call Bristena, the same spirit that grows a seed from a seed into a great oak tree, and
mm,
we could go on and on. The same spirit that's making the sun burn, on and on and on and on and on and on in every form of life. And just from understanding this and having this as a primary perspective, you know, we're instantly unified with the world around us, and we just need to again refine our attention in this understanding, and that simply washes away all of the lesser aspects of us that would inhibit our connection and unity.
that's a wonderful idea, and this made me think of this idea when we're getting drunk and who's aware that we're drunk. There's this
Yeah,
awareness behind our drunken self that is aware that the fact that we're drunk. So therefore, the more we get in tune with this internal awareness, this eye of awareness that we can reach through meditation and through yoga and other spiritual practices, that we bring this awareness in our daily lives and realize that we're not alone and that we're not disconnected, and we're all in this together, and that the more we help ourselves, the more we can help others as well.
that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Wonderful. So I'm curious, what are some of the fears that you've encountered on your journey so far, and how did you go about dealing with them?
I think many like fear is a natural thing that we have to have in us as humans as a defense mechanism, but then how we utilize that fear or how we behave in the face of that fear is what really defines us and
Mm,
shapes our experience, you know, because
yeah.
fear itself is just like a heightened state. It can be a projected anxiety based on mental thoughts. So I'd say one fear that I'm actually overcoming now more so than ever before and really feeling so light as a result of it is, of course, we've all been conditioned, we've all gone through a period of conditioning in this human experience, and we all really just want to be the perfect purity of the spirit. And, you know, when we do the kind of work that we do and that we're inspired to do, and we speak about these things, but then we feel that we still have aspects of ourselves that are still in illusion or whatever, it's like there can be a block to feeling comfortable and happy sharing with other people because you think, oh man, I've still got this in me or this is that, and they may see this, they might see me in this way, they might not like me or whatever, and we kind of have this inhibition to want to share ourselves and be ourselves effulgently and fully. And
Mm,
so very recently I've been doing a lot of could say self-inquiry rather than work, just really looking at what is true, analyzing belief systems and ones that are in alignment with our truth and ones that are really just melodies and distortions of the truth, and just really aligning and harmonizing those, and then being happy and comfortable to share more and more and more of myself with the world. So that's a fear that I've recently overcome and I'm feeling great as a result of it.
ah, congratulations! I'm very happy for you, and I know exactly what you're going through because I've been dealing with the same fear of exposing myself and expressing my truth and just sharing my message that I feel inspired to
Mhm.
share. And the
Yes.
more I do that, the more I encounter people that resonate with my message, and we help uplift each other. And that's why I'm doing this challenge as well, to create this community of like-minded people who want to grow together, who want to inspire and
Yes.
motivate and encourage each other to let go of our limitations and see what happens at the end of our comfort zone at the end of the day.
That's right.
What do you think
That's right.
what do you think happens at the end of your comfort zone?
Bliss, happiness, joy. Firstly, in the unknown, there can be a bit of uneasiness, but once we really just surrender the idea that, we're the ones who are in control and we just let go and allow and trust in life, you know, we may be tested to see, all right, are you really feeling this way or are you just saying it? But when we really show and prove to ourselves, in a sense, that yeah, this is it. We mean this and we're earnest about this and we really let go of all preconceived notions of control and are happy to flow with life. It's just so blissful and
Mm,
effortless and joyful. Even in the face of challenges, because I don't think challenges are bad. I don't think it's bad or wrong to have negative feelings sometimes, which can still arise, but we're just in a more heightened perspective, a higher perspective to be able to more effectively guide the way we feel just by again looking at our truth as opposed to the elements of illusion that make us feel negative or bad in the first place. So when we extend and move beyond our comfort zone, we're just our energies are released, you could say. Our heart's released, our mind is released, and life becomes an adventure again. Like we're
mm,
not rigid and structured into being set ways and doing the same things.
okay.
We're open to adventure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we're basically going back into that innocent, radiant, in flow state of being, like how we were when we were born. We're connecting to
That's
our
right.
inner sense with our innocence.
Yes.
All right. So let's get a bit practical here. Let's say someone who wants to share more of himself but is encountering lots of inhibitions and has reservations or fear of being judged or criticized. How would you go about helping this kind of people who feel that there's so much more potential that needs to come out of them, but they don't really know how to let go?
I'd say, firstly, don't let it be about wanting to put yourself out just because you feel like, yeah, I want to put myself out. That's one mistake that I think we make when it's not so much about how we express ourselves in and as much as it is what we're being. So if we feel that we have patterns of unworthiness or aspects of ourselves that we wouldn't want to display to the world, then really what we have to do is go into those, you know, go into what we could call the subconscious or the underworld or the darkness within us and really start to shed that light of awareness in that, embrace it, accept those aspects of ourselves that we feel are causing us to hold back, and then do the necessary work by daily practices, self inquiry primarily, and just a rightful understanding of who and what we are truly. Let this be the daily motion, and in a very short time, our energy just begins to shift, and we feel inspired and compelled more to act and share in accordance with our highest light rather than afraid to shine it. It's like we clean the vessel, we clear the window, we open the window, and then the light just shines through, and it does it by itself. So we don't really have to worry about how we're going to do it. We just have to focus on state of being and making sure that our daily practices keep us in the state of being that we would prefer if we had 100% choice, which we do.
Absolutely. And related to this idea of self inquiry, do you have like any tips or any framework for self inquiry for people who like to be able to get more intimately connected inside of themselves and to be more aware of who they really are in themselves? How would you recommend going about that?
Um, I'd say there are a few ways. Firstly, you can seek a master or a teacher, somebody who you feel resonates with you and who you feel you can trust, who speaks on these topics. There are many, many, many great
Yeah.
teachers of this in the world now. So if you find someone, just listen to them, watch their videos, go and see them if they're in close enough proximity to you, and get an understanding from somebody who is the living embodiment of it.
Do you have
Secondly, one,
any recommendations of these kind of people that maybe have inspired you most that you've been following?
yeah, Muji is awesome. Muji is fantastic. I used to see Muji many years ago now. Not many, but maybe like 2010. So about 6 years ago, I used to go and be with him in Brixton when he was living in London, and it was wonderful times. Also, Sadhguru.
Okay.
I love to listen to Sadhguru as well. Sadhguru, Jaggi Vasudev. There are many others, but just ones that come straight to the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, these guys have certainly helped me on the path, so
Okay.
it'll be great to check them out. And secondly, if you don't have access to a master or you feel you don't need that, which you don't, because truly the spirit and the guru, the teacher is within us. So we have to earnestly seek to know the spirit and want to know the spirit, the infinite, the God within us, and then open up channels of communication with it. And the way we do that is by meditation. Now, what we can do is just apportion a certain amount of time in the day, in the morning, however your schedule is. You have to be the one to make time for it. So only
Mm,
you can know when it's best to do that. And then just sit down. Don't have any distractions in the environment. Keep the environment quiet as possible. You don't have to put your body in any particular position, but if you just sit, be with your thoughts, be with your feelings in their totality without judging, without trying to change them or make them be something else, but just seeing them for what they are, in that act of observation, we realize that as the observer, we are not linked to or we are not bound to the movements of our body or our mind, and we are truly transcendent of and beyond it, beyond these movements. And then with this understanding, with this realization, we open up a much greater space within ourselves to act in this transcendent way. And this is the self-inquiry, really coming in to realize and notice who and what we are as opposed to the things that we're not. Because anything that we can see within our observation and within our consciousness, we can't be there if we are the ones who are seeing it.
mm,
And that's really what the self-inquiry is about, like
okay.
relinquishing identification with mind forms.
Mm, yeah, that's a very profound understanding of awareness and self-inquiry indeed. And I found,
Let's, well, sorry, Bristena. One more
sorry.
thing I'd say, because we'll go in on that. I'd say in times when you are feeling as if, your energies are tight or you don't know what to do, where you would normally just go and eat some food for comfort or entertainment, or I don't know, you would watch something on Netflix or TV or whatever that's not really fulfilling you soulfully and doesn't really feed you as you need to be fed in these times that we're entering now, this great new age, as some would call it. You know, get up and go for a walk, go to the park, go sit, if you've got parks near you, go sit by a river, go sit under a tree, just really breathe and take in life, allow life to merge with you in a true and profound way. And
Mm,
just by doing these things, we are telling the spirit, I'm ready for you, I'm ready to receive more of you, and let's be the best we can be. Ultimately, let's be who we truly are.
awesome. I love that so much. And indeed, meditation and connection with nature has helped me so much on my personal growth journey. And yeah, just getting in touch with my essence, with my soul essence. I think that's what all of us want to do at the end of the day, to become our own work of art. We're sculpting
Absolutely.
ourselves, becoming who we want to be and who we want to create in our life. And once you have this realization that you have the choice and the freedom to become who you really are and to allow yourself permission to expand on that, it's just so blissful and magnetic.
Mm.
Oh, Shen. What about this organization that you were telling us about, Solar Nation? Can you tell us a little bit more? What's the purpose and what's the mission and how you go about gathering people together?
Okay, so Solar Nation is basically what it sounds like, and the basis of all life on the material level, on the physical level of existence, we would see is the sun. You know, provides life for everything, it provides warmth, and when we understand that we are one with the sun and the sun is within us also, we realize we're solar beings. Now, nation is just a group of people, and whether we look at it this way or not, we're all one human civilization, one human nation within the sun, you know? And so Solar Nation, that's where it came about as an organization to share information, knowledge, guidance, um, presence, time, and really just creative joy that really allowed us to be able to, or should I say, allows us to be able to step into our unified nature, because there's so much more that unifies us than separates us, but we just have to turn around and place our vision in this
Mm,
direction. And I know there are many organizations around the world, and many people are inspired to do the same work as well. So I'm just doing my part and bringing about the organization that way. And how do we
beautiful.
gather people? I don't even really try and gather people, it's more about just being the living example of what ideals we'd like to bring into the world, and then sharing that in whatever way is necessary, be it by going to gatherings where people are and just being who you are. If we really are in that unity consciousness and paradigm in ourselves, people will naturally be drawn to us. If you create music as I do, or make videos, put those online, and people who resonate with you will find it, and they'll want to be in touch with you because you speak to something so deep in them that
Mm,
resonates with the message, and they want to be a part of that. So it's not
mm,
about them wanting to be with you as much as it is the ideal that you've set forth is one that they resonate with too, that is their same ideal, and together we're just like two bright balls of light that can amplify. And the more and more and more we have, the more energy we have to share.
mm.
So
Absolutely, that's what it means to have power in community, the power in numbers, and we're in an age when there's no more time to be separated. We need to gather our voices, join our forces, and create the change. Be the change we
that's
want
right.
to see in the world.
I said in one of my rhymes in a song that's on my upcoming album called Enter Eternity, I said, separation simply leads souls to the grave in this golden age. Unification saves slaves. you know? So
Awesome.
we're not really slaves, but in our own experience of our lives, I know many people feel as if it's that way because they're having to go through a mundane routine of things. And just by understanding unification with the source of existence, which instantly and ultimately unifies us with everything around us, we can again begin to allow a new framework of reality and energy to flood into us, and we can really shift things profoundly in our experience.
Mm.
So yeah,
It's,
everyone, that's a verse from my album
yeah,
coming up, so everyone should get.
awesome. So, how would you suggest people to get in touch with you? How is there anything on the internet that you have to share with people?
Okay, so if you type into YouTube Shen Ayin, that is spelled ShenAhjin, that's the YouTube channel. I've literally started uploading videos more constantly now, and so more are going to be coming if you want to hear more perspectives on different topics, all related to our unity paradigm. Also, the website is www.the-peoples-power.com. So that's the website for Solar Nation, and it's almost finished. So in the next couple of days, it should be online and live from the point of this interview. So by the time many people watch this, it would already be live. So visit us over there on the site. Um, Also Facebook. I'm on Facebook too. The Facebook page is Shen Ji, so that's ShenJi. And I just post on there, and I'm interactive very much so. And the email address is onesolarnation@gmail.com. So we can be in touch, and very responsive and happy to hear from anyone. Even if it's a good thing you have to say, bad things, positive, negative criticisms, I'm happy to take on all perspectives and grow from them. So I look forward to hearing from you.
Beautiful. Thank you for your openness and your desire to just share your truth and be open to criticism, positive, negative. It's all good. It's all, at the end of the day, something that we can learn from in any instance. With ups and downs, there's still so much to learn and to grow and to learn about yourself from interaction with people and about other people.
That's right. Don't you find it's too like restricting and confining to n not like be out now and just do this work and flow? Like holding yourself back is more painful than putting yourself under the lens of observation now. And through the lens of observation of others, we're able to even have a reflection of ourselves and even sometimes a brighter light shone on ourselves to be able to become more of who we truly are.
Absolutely, I found that people around us are just mirrors and they're reflecting back to us some of the things we weren't aware in our thoughts, in our beliefs, in our feelings. So, by looking into other people and having an interaction or conversation with them, we learn so much about ourselves.
That's right.
If we're
That's
open to that and we're vulnerable to admit to ourselves some of the things we weren't prepared to admit before.
That's right. And that's again part of this challenge, facing fears. A lot of the times, one of the greatest fears for us as human beings is facing our own psyche and our own human
Hmm.
conscience, which is a lot of people don't like to be in silence. They don't like to be alone, you know. But just by refining in these few practices, we can really step into a great place of power within ourselves because we're not hiding from ourselves anymore. And when we begin to embrace the aspects of ourselves that we would want to hide from, we can really be in a brand new position to embrace the world.
Hmm. Thank you very much for those illuminating ideas, and it was a very rich and expansive, mind expansive conversation. Thank you, Shen, for that.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
It's a delight and honor to know you and to have you joining us on this challenge.
Absolutely.
Hope you have an amazing day, and everybody who watched this interview, I hope you enjoyed it and that you were inspired and uplifted. And if you like this interview, share it on your social media and let your friends know that you're participating in this challenge for fearless warriors. Join our YouTube channel, Journey to Bliss. And last but not least, sign up to the link below to get your free Bliss Blueprint with the 3 stages of radical transformation from within. I hope you enjoyed this and see you next time. Bye bye!
Bye bye.